Hey guys, I'm back again here to review the Bombtech wedges. I know they're old. Doesn't matter, you can still buy old clubs, especially with these. You know, they still have a deal. You can get them on Amazon. It's 3 for $100. You get a 52 degree, a 56 degree, and a 60 degree. Honestly, guys, for the money, you can't beat it. Are there cheaper clubs like Pine Meadow that have wedge sets for the same, if not cheaper? Yeah, but they're really just cheap metal. They're not that much different. It's cheaper material. I've had these for about a year now. Honestly, I don't mind them at all. I don't want to spend $150 on a club, on a wedge, like a Vokey wedge or something like that. Granted, they are milled. The Vokey wedges are milled, these are not. But even still, they're still really good wedges for the money. You can't really beat it. The faces on these are not milled. It's not clean, I just played with it. But honestly, guys, the feel is an average feel. You know, it's not going to have the feel like a Vokey or a CG or anything like that. For the money, though, the feel is actually pretty decent. I don't have any complaints. You're not going to generate the same kind of spin as you would as a CG or a Vokey or these high-end wedges that have milled faces. But you still get a decent amount of spin, you know. You can see the bounce. I don't know what the bounce rating is on these, but it's not bad. You know, I use a Pro V1. The ball does a lot of the spin itself when you're using a softer ball, so it kind of hides some of the spin ratings with these wedges. But they're still pretty decent wedges for the money. I will game these wedges until I decide if I want to spend $100 on a wedge, which I can tell you won't be anytime soon. You know, I'm about a 12 handicap, so a $150 wedge, $450 in wedges really is not doing it for me right now. But this club itself, I had to change the grip. I put on a dry tack grip. I like the dry tacks. These come with a standard cheap kind of a velvet rubber grip that I'm just not a big fan of. Some people love them. I personally don't. I have a tighter grip, so in the long run, if I'm playing wedges all day, you know, my hands will end up getting sore. I just don't like the grip, but that's just me. I will say though, the standard grip, you know, on the end of the club, right there where it says win, there is a bomb, a green bomb, which actually is kind of neat if you're into that kind of thing. Just kind of helps the overall look of it. At address, you know, the club looks pretty average, pretty normal. You know, there's not really any difference than another typical wedge. It has the white lines where the grooves are. That kind of helps stick it out. But I've played pretty well with these. They're just as forgiving as any average wedge is. You know, they're not going to blow you away, but they're not going to disappoint you either. You really just can't beat it for the money, which is kind of why I did this review. There's obviously a bunch of Bombtech wedge reviews out there. However, they don't really have the information that I was looking for. I don't want to see you hit wedges. I don't want to see you hit clubs. I want to know what your experience is while you were hitting them. I don't care about how far somebody hits it because everybody's going to hit the ball different. With that said, my normal wedges, if I'm using a different wedge, I'll hit a 52 degree about 100 yards. My 56 will go about 80, and my 60 will go about 60. And I will say these are right in line with that. I will hit this 52 about 100 yards, and the same with the other two as well. So as far as distance, I don't see any difference than my other clubs. As far as accuracy, I don't really see any difference in wedges that I've used in the past. What I will say this comes down to with these wedges compared to your high-end wedges is feel and spin. Obviously the spin comes into play with the ball, and if you're using some of the higher end wedges or even some of the cheaper wedges that have milled faces, whether it's a spin milled or the zip grooves like the Cleveland, there's so many different millings out there now that really does help the ball spin. But again, 3 wedges for $100, you can't beat it, especially if you're a higher handicap. These are actually perfect because it gives you a set of wedges, so you're getting consistency. And honestly, I kind of like the gimmick, the name, the logo. It's kind of cool in a way. It's a traditional looking wedge. I mean, I've showed you, I think, about every angle. Me personally, right here, I don't like where it's big and fat. So this is nice for me. I also have a 0 degree bounce that I'll do a video on at a different time, which that thing is crazy, but I love it. Anyway, guys, if you're looking for a cheap set of wedges, you don't want to spend $100, $150 a wedge, give Bombtech a shot. You really can't go wrong, and the customer service is, bar none, way up at the top. I would say they're even better than Titleist customer service, who I'm really not a big fan of. Give them a shot, 3 for $100. Sometimes you can get a special to throw in a 64 degree or a 70 degree, whatever it is. I don't have any use for that, but if you're into it, it's worth a shot. All right, guys, thanks a lot.